good evening, and welcome once again to our show Tea Positive with me, Chami. And as promised, we have a guest with us to talk to you about her inspiring story, bring to you her life story, and inspire us because we know we all need a little inspiration. And at the end of the week, as we step into another new week, I assure you, this story is going to inspire you to go out and be the best possible version of yourself. So, without further ado, I'd like to introduce to you Mrs Malathi Kahandaliyanage and Kesara Kahandaliyanage. Good evening.
Good evening, Chami.
How are you?
I'm good, I'm good. It's lovely to be here with you.
It's lovely to have you here on the show, Auntie Ma, and Kesara, you as well. So, I have known Auntie Malathi for some time now, and I'm going to give you a brief introduction to her. She's a parent of a very successful young man, a very handsome young man, and he has done so well in his life with her support and with the family's support. And she is a special educator. She has, she started off when no one even knew about any of this, especially in Sri Lanka.
Yeah, the word autism.
The word autism, yes. And so let us ask her about her beginnings. Auntie Ma, I'm going to ask you, the first question I'm going to ask you is, how old is Kesara?
Kesara is 28 years old now.
Okay.
Yes.
So, for the last 28 years, when you started this journey with Kesara,
yeah.
What were your challenges and how and where have you come from?
Yes, so the challenges, having a child itself is a challenge.
Yes.
Yeah?
Yes.
And I have two daughters, older than Kesara. So, having Kesara, okay, having a son, more than a challenge, it was a joy. A joy after having two princesses to have a prince. But that joy became a very, very traumatic challenge in a few years' time because he could not talk. He was like different. He was different, and the world saw him like an animal. So the first positive thing, I think, though it was very negative when the professionals told me that, look at him, he's like an animal, it was very negative.
Let me interrupt you. The professional story.
Yes, yes, because nobody knew about special needs and autism, neither did I. But I knew it, he was different. But his smile, his cuddles, those were the very positive things, but he wouldn't smile very often. He would not look at our eyes, he would not talk to us. He never said Ammi till he was about 6 years old. But with all that, having a child, a boy in the family, though it was challenging, that was positive because the Kahandaliyanages, there's only one family of Kahandaliyanages in Sri Lanka. So having a son to carry the name was a positive thing. Yeah? But sad to say, it was not all bed of roses because my child couldn't talk and he couldn't wear clothes. We didn't know why it was. We didn't know why he was different. And when he was 2.5 years, as any other parent, we want to put him to the Montessori. So my daughters went to St. Bridget's and they take boys. So he started his education at St. Bridget's, but it lasted only about 2 weeks. But that was very positive in the sense. The principal sister called me and said, Malathi, I know it's very difficult for you, but why don't we show him to a psychologist? Yeah? So then, though it was difficult for me to accept, the positive thing was, okay, somebody else is going to help me. Otherwise, I was like in denial, no, I can do it, let him, because in Sri Lanka, people say, boys talk later, you had 2 girls. So they all saw him in a different way, but nobody pointed out that difference might be something else. Yeah? So that is how we went to a professional. Okay. But that was the day that they told me that your child looks like an animal, you will have to tie him up. So I was like blank. I didn't know what to say, what to do. I said, okay. And stepping out of that place with all that negative energy around me, that was the time I had to make a conscious choice. What am I going to do about this? Am I going to carry this negativity saying, okay, your child is like an animal, he will not be able to do this, do that? Or do I say, okay, people can think, but this is my child. So what am I going to do? So I made a conscious choice and I took a chance to see how well I can change him. Him, so that the people around him will change their outlook about these children with special needs, because they all thought, okay, there are people who can't do anything in life. It is for the karma. It is, or you are a bad parent, very famous Sri Lankan thing. So I think with that negativity around me, that one step forward put me on the positive path in thinking, I am going to help him. So
a conscious choice.
Conscious choice.
And chance.
Chance to make a change.
Yes, and that chance has paid off very
definitely,
well, I must say.
Definitely.
Yes, I think Kesara is very successful. He has a very successful business, doesn't he?
Kesara? Yes.
Kesara? Yeah, you have K's Kitchen, correct?
Yeah, he has K's Kitchen. He works. He works at Giovanni's. But I think you know what happened to him in another place. Yes. So again, that negativity, having your child who has worked so hard to make a person in the society who can be productive, yeah, and to be crushed down so that that child stops believing in himself. As a family, we wondering, what have we done? Why did we send him? Why couldn't have just kept him at home? Why have we sent him to the world? Yeah?
When the question should be the other way around.
Other way around. Yeah? And so with all that negativity around, then again, I had to make a choice. What am I going to do with this experience? Am I going to shut down and say, okay, well, what to do, it happened? Or am I going to stand up and say, look, you did this, and that is not acceptable. So I think as a parent, for me, that step, again, that choice I made, am I going to look at the options from the legal point of view? Yeah, but, and it is not for money, Chami. This was never about fighting against no. So that is something. So what am I getting out of it if I'm not getting money? Yeah? Then again, for me, it is awareness. It is awareness about what changes we need to make in Sri Lanka.
How important was your support system in terms of, I know you have 2 daughters.
Yeah.
How important was it? I know they're very supportive of both you and Kesara. They're very vocal, they're very out there, they're always out there supporting all his initiatives. And I've seen that, and I know so many other people have seen that. But as a family, apart from just that family support, I'm sure you've received a little bit of support, at least from here and there.
Of course.
But how important was that family support for Kesara growing up?
It was not easy, Chami. It was not easy. So we had to change everything. Right. You know, I lost my husband, Kesara was only 9 years old. So I left my comfort zone. We moved. Our children, my other 2 daughters, I think they were not happy with it. But again, it was the choice I made. I wanted to make a difference in our family, because just being in that same place, moving forward, was difficult with my family, friends around me, because our life changed 360 degrees. So the choice I made was moving away from Colombo to a place nobody knew us. Yeah? And that means we had to start new. So when you have to start something, you have to weigh and see, where am I going? What am I going to get out of it? What am I going to give out? So I'm very, very proud to say Kesara came from the village. Though we are people from the town, Kesara, who is today here, is because the village supported him, each and every one. It may have been the three-wheeler driver that he had to go. Yeah, there was a time when Kesara gets into a three-wheeler, he would throw everything, the little bits of rubber and everything. So the three-wheeler driver would say, madam, I'll bring my girlfriend so that Kesara is okay. So each and every person that we met supported Kesara. But why did he support Kesara? Because I asked for it. Unless I asked for the support, nobody is coming to come and, can I? Nobody's going to ask. So as a parent, again, that was the choice. But it was very hard, asking somebody for a support. And sometimes when you also don't know whether it's right or wrong. But the positivity was in that, me asking. A lot of people said no, not that everybody said yes. But I learned to go and ask from somebody else then.
It's a very important point that you bring in, Auntie Malathi. A lot of us don't ask.
Yes.
And then we sit and complain and we're like, you know, I'm depressed and I'm this and I'm that. But we really haven't asked.
Yes.
We really haven't reached out to anyone.
Yeah.
And we expect others to reach out to us.
Yes.
It's a very important point that you bring up.
Because,
how would you also can't blame someone else if you also haven't reached out.
Yes. Yeah. So during COVID, I had to reach out to you. I had to ask. Yeah. And then you responded. If I didn't ask, I wouldn't have. So I think being positive means not just being say, okay, I'm happy all the time. That is not it. Being positive is being mindful of what you want, where you are, being aware of what you can reach out to, and that expectation. What are you expecting? It is not always, yes, I will do it. It can be yes and no. I always tell parents and my daughters, if somebody says no, say thank you, because they are giving you an opportunity to ask from somebody else. Yeah? And if they say yes, say thank you and accept it.
That's fantastic. So I know Auntie Malathi because I volunteered at an institution that she worked at, and that's how I first came across Auntie Malathi, and this institution did some fantastic work, and I was privileged to be part of it as a volunteer. But let us ask Auntie Malathi now, what are you doing now, and what are the programs that you're involved in? Because I'm sure there are our viewers are very interested if there are opportunities to come and help, if there are opportunities for volunteering and helping out in any way. So if you can give them an overview of what you do.
Yes, so now at the moment we are as a family doing Case Kitchen helping. It started during COVID because it was very important for us to keep that mental health in a positive manner, because Kesara was getting very anxious because he was unable to go to work. Yeah? So we as a family had to find ways and means to keep that sanity. Otherwise, it was constantly, when am I going to work, the same question over and over and over again, and we were also getting very upset and depressed and angry and all that. So we had to make a choice to see how well can we support him. And that's how we started Case Kitchen. So what he does is he cooks amazing food. That is all he can do because he was playing with water and fire from the small days. But as a family, we thought, okay, giving him the opportunity to reach out to the other people, other parents, for them to see, yes, he can. And if he can, I can. Yeah? Even for me, that is what I want to tell the parents. It was not easy. It's never going to be easy. It's not a cakewalk. But you can, if you want to, and be positive in thinking I can. It is not that somebody else is going to help you. I can. I think the moment you think I can, we are grounding yourself, and then you're looking at your options. Yeah? So then there are so many options. then you make the choice.
Right.
Sometimes it may fail, but then you have already, you're grounded. If this doesn't work out, let me try this one.
Right.
So I think
Failure is also
part of a
your-
learning curve.
Your part of
Yeah.
life and part of your path to success.
But yes, definitely.
Right. So now you mentioned an interesting point. You said Kesara loved water and fire as a child, and then now he has his own business venture. He's cooking. He's at Kay's Kitchen. He's at Giovanni's, which is fantastic. How did you choose, or how did he choose this path for himself? How did you identify it as a parent in supporting him, in empowering him in that direction?
Yeah. From the small days, his interest was water and fire. He'll open the tap, he'll open the gas. He'll open the tap, he'll open the gas. Nothing else. So, and for me, I saw it as, wow, if he can stand near the fire now, he'll be able to use fire. Whereas the other kids would run away, as parents would say, don't touch, you will get hurt. I looked at it, my gosh. I didn't know that it was because of his sensory issues that he didn't feel the heat. Even now he doesn't. He's not hypersensitive. Yeah, he's hyposensitive. He had all those. At that time I didn't know. So for me it was, okay, if you can stand near the fire, what can you do with fire? Cook. You need water to cook. You need fire to cook. So, but I think each and every one of us brings something with us, Chamitri. And it is for the people around us to give us a chance to show what we have already brought, rather than telling them, no, you go, do this, you do this, you do that. Right. We never give our kids a chance to show what they can. We put them for ballet class, we put them for this class, whether they like it or not. I'm not saying that don't send them. Send the kids to all the different things, but find out what is the thing that the child enjoys. Then empower that child and say, wow, I like the way you're doing this. See, then only they will understand, okay, my mom likes what I'm doing, others like, so let me carry on with it.
It's very interesting because I think we're a generation that tries to fulfill our children's dreams, or our dreams through our children. And I think a lot of us, because of our, because we grew up in families and our parents didn't allow us to do certain things because we come from conservative families, or ballet is not for you, or you want to learn karate, or karate is not for a girl.
Girl.
Right?
Yeah.
And so all those dreams that were unfulfilled in you, and you try to fulfill them through your child, and not realizing what actually your child is wanting or what their potential is. So you put them into a lot of earlier things.
Yeah.
And we think it is a competitive world, but that does not mean that we have to always, put them into
everything out there.
Yeah, identifying and then choosing what that child is capable of is
more important. I think, Chamitri, I'm the sixth in the family of 7.
Right.
See, having a large family, growing up with a large family is a different experience altogether. Yeah. We had to fight for our own identity in a big family. Fight in the sense, not in a negative way.
No, but
But yes, to create your own identity. But when you said that with me, I've never told my girls what they have to do. And both of them, some people ask me, Auntie Malathi, why aren't they in special education? Yeah. So I asked them. And what they told me was, Ammi, Malli is in our life forever. So every day when we talk to him, it is different than other siblings. So why do you want us to go and do something that we are doing now and enjoying? Having Malli around is a pleasure. But if you want us to go and do the way that you are doing things, sorry, you are able to do it. None of us. But we can be there for Malli. So I can't push them. A lot of people ask me. So I don't think I have ever told them, no, you have to do this, you have to do that. They have chosen, one is a master diver,
Right.
Yeah,
Yes.
that is what she enjoys. Other one is on radio. The,
Yes.
yeah, both are on radio, but Shivanti,
Yes.
that is her dream. She wanted to become a marine biologist. But after her Apache died, it was very difficult. So he chose what she can do next, go diving. She's a master diver and she's fantastic. So,
Which is fantastic. Another lesson to learn, I think, just because you have an initial dream and that doesn't pan out for some reason, you don't give up on that dream. You get the best possible out of it. I think that's a fantastic way to look at life. Adima, I'm going to ask you some difficult questions, some sensitive questions.
Yeah.
28 years.
Yes.
What are the shortfallings of the healthcare system that we have in this country? And you've traveled out as well, you've worked out as well in special needs, special education. Obviously there are differences, but also where is it that we can improve on our healthcare system? Because I think that's a huge part in the life of a special needs child.
Yes. So, Chami, we have a medical model.
Okay.
But we have to have it has to become a social model for us to integrate our kids, special need kids into the world, into the society. We have to look at a social model. So I think we have a very good medical model.
Right.
That is why we have lots of, what can I say, identification of autism, all those things are going on, and it's fantastic. But the social aspect of it is the one that is lacking. From the education sector, from the, what can I say, accepting children, and even the medical model, sometimes the doctors, the way they talk to the parents, that attitude because has to change. Even infrastructure. How many places do you think I can take a disabled child and wait for a doctor without everybody looking at me, pointing fingers, because we don't have a place where parents can go and keep the kids. It's like breastfeeding.
Yes.
Yeah. Now people are aware and there are places where, but I still remember taking Kesara to hospital was a nightmare. It was a nightmare because he couldn't wait in one place and people would look at me, whisper, but imagine if there is a place, where there are toys or whatever that the child needs so that the parent can go and relax with the child. Otherwise, the mother is running behind the child, the father is running behind the child. So that has to. And for the doctors, I'm saying, please, if you say you're coming at a time, please make sure that you come if there is a special needs child waiting for you. So ask. Ask. Parents, what time can you come? Will I be able to be there for you on time? Otherwise, it's very unfair, Chamitri, for any professional.
I think it is very unfair for anyone.
Anyone.
But with the
special needs,
it's more
important, more difficult. And see, another thing is, these children cannot get an insurance in Sri Lanka. There is no insurance. Nobody will give an insurance policy. I just want to do, that is where the policies needs to change, Chamitri.
So, okay, so even if, say hypothetically a special needs child goes and breaks an arm or a leg, even that cannot be insured?
No.
Okay.
So that is where the policies need to change. And see, 15% of the world population has some sort of disability. They are the largest minority in the world. So in other countries, there are lots of benefits for them, right? But in Sri Lanka, we hardly have any benefits. See, recently I saw saying grade 5 scholarship exam, if you pass, you get for the savings account or whatever extra percentage or something. So I went to the bank one day and I said, look here, I have a child with special needs. Can I open an account and will you give them a little extra? They said, no. So those are the things. When I talk about the social model, Chamitri, that is what I'm talking about. See, we have for senior citizens who have been in the country, who have worked with, contributed to the country. Yes, that's excellent. But what about the special needs child, the moment the child is born, the family has to go through so much.
Yeah.
So where is the support for that? Where is the support for that?
Policy-wise, there's very little
Policy,
support.
policy, yes.
Policy-wise, there's very little support.
We have enough and more policies. I'm not saying we don't have, but they are not enacted.
We have policies.
We have
but
policies,
it's not,
yes. It's not enacted.
Okay, all right. So now, because of the recent awareness programs and because we've recently spoken about, a lot of talk has been, you know, about special needs and autism and Down syndrome, and we have days dedicated to all these, you know, issues, and we have massive celebrations on those particular days.
Yes.
We've also got a few organizations in the private sector who've opened up their doors for special needs employment.
Yes.
And what I've noticed is one of the things they do is the catalogs are very beautiful. So at the end of the year when they print their magazine, one of the main things they talk about is that, you know, that we have this many special needs people employed in
yes.
But does that actually, is that reality, or is that just a lot of...
Okay, let me say it this way. There are places that employ special needs people, but I'm not sure whether they are getting the same salary-wise, whether they are being given the same this thing. But as you said, there are lots of institutes where they put up these children's pictures to say, even in educational institutions, Chami. And I feel sometimes they are selling this special needs thing for their own benefit. Yeah. So that is something, but there are other places, I'm not saying that there are places where they do lots of work with children without expecting anything for them. They are doing it because they have made a choice to make a change in somebody's life. But there are some places they have made a choice to make use of them.
Right.
So again, it's up to the people to really ask themselves, just because you see something on a cover, don't believe it. Go. If you want to help, find out. I think that is something personally we have to consciously make. Now, when I call, it was by, I don't know, coincidence. I just put an ad on Facebook asking for volunteers. You came and you saw.
Yes.
And then only you decided to come.
Yes.
We never said, okay, come.
Right.
But we pushed your corner when you said yes. Yeah.
No, but I must say, I'm very glad that you gave me that opportunity, and I'm happy that I responded to that advertisement a couple of years ago, because I look for opportunities to volunteer.
Yeah.
And I think this was one of my most gratifying volunteering experiences I've ever had. And I want to thank you, and actually I worked at a place called Reach Beyond, and Auntie Malathi, along with 3 other mothers who have special needs kids, they started this institution and they did some fabulous work. And I think it has lasted with me, and I think it will last with me throughout my life, that gratification, because the kind of work, I have no qualification in special needs, but what I understood and what I realized in my years there was that love and patience is what gets you to your...
Yes, and the kids that you work with, you made a huge difference. And there also, Chami, you took a chance. You took a chance. Okay, let me try it out and see.
Right.
So the gratification that you got was because you made a choice and you took a chance to make a change in some children.
And that gratification is beyond any words that I can say right now. So I'm going to ask Auntie Malathi one final question, and then we have one final question for Kesar. So Auntie Malathi, in terms of policy changes, how and who can we approach?
How and who? I think you're the best person to answer that, Chami. No, I really feel that if parents, I'm talking about parents with special needs children, can go to a forum and talk to the president or the policy makers. We have to go and talk to them, to the top. I think that is what is needed for them to understand what are the changes that we are looking for. And if they also make the choice and take a chance to make a change in Sri Lanka, we would be up there with the other countries where they are supporting these people with and accepting these people and empowering these people, because they're all our people.
Yes, and they can contribute to the
Of
to
course.
the economy.
Of
and
course.
they can contribute to the growth of the nation.
Growth of the nation.
I think that's a fantastic thing that we need to take forward. And I hope some policymakers will also be listening to this and make an effort to meet with you and a few other parents and then sit and decide on certain things. One last question for you, Auntie Malathi. If there are viewers, if we have any viewers who want to volunteer or help out, where should they reach out to? Who should they reach out to, and how can they help?
Okay, where can they help? So at the moment I am working with Dilma, Merrill J. Charitable Foundation. So we need volunteers there. They can reach out. If anybody is willing to come and help K's Kitchen,
That'll be fantastic.
that'll be fantastic. Yeah? That'll be fantastic. Oh, and one thing, Chami, I wanted to just mention, when we are talking about special needs, we are always talking about children. Don't forget these children grow up to be adults. Yeah? And then we need to change because their needs change.
Right.
Physiological needs, psychological needs. Yeah? And one thing I want to talk to you about is that these children also need sex education for their needs and how to live and be productive. So that is why the social model is needed, Chami. People don't think that these children have needs and the feelings, but they do. They are just like you and me. So for a parent to go and find out answers is difficult. Right. So that is where the social
system where they can. Right. So Kesara, what is your favorite thing to cook? Do you want to tell us? You make pizza, right? Yeah?
At Giovanni's. But at K's Kitchen, what do you like to make? Indian food or Italian food? Indian
You like
food.
Indian food, okay. So I'm going to definitely order from K's Kitchen, Auntie Malathi, and taste the Indian food that Kesara makes. And I want you to give us a final word for our viewers. This program, I mean, it's very clear to my heart because I've also worked with you as a volunteer and I've seen the kind of work that you have done. And I think it needs to be spoken about, it needs to be given awareness, it needs to be given publicity. Just because awareness itself, it opens out new doors. I wasn't aware until I came to you. And I think it has opened out my mind, it has opened out the way I look at the world, look at people, not just special needs, but everyone. We all have the same kind of issues. And it has made me a better person. So what would you finally say to our viewers?
Yeah, as you said, it's not only your mind, Chami, that opened up, it was your heart. Yeah? So open your hearts, open your mind, make a conscious effort to take a chance, to make a change in somebody's life. It does not have to be a special needs. Help when you can. Yeah? And always think one word, one positive word, one smile can make a difference in somebody's life. So wear your smile. There is no other crown bigger than the smile. Yeah?
So wear your smile. There's no other crown bigger than your smile. I think we've heard these words from Mrs Malathi Kahandaliyanage. I want to thank you for coming on our show, and thank you very much, Kesara, for joining us. It was fantastic to have both of you. I wish you, Kesara, all the very best for K's Kitchen, and I'm definitely going to order the Indian food from your kitchen, okay? So you better send me some naans and some butter chicken very soon. And I think that will be fantastic. And to all our viewers, I think you've heard from Mrs Malathi Kahandaliyanage herself, not just about autism, not just about being a parent of a special needs child, and now a very handsome young man, but also about how you can approach life and wear your smile, help where you can. Just one word and one smile is all it takes. So I thank you to all our viewers for joining us once again. And T Positive, this program is brought to you by Good News Lanka. And we look forward to seeing all of you next week as well with another episode with a life story that inspires. And I would like to thank Stuart Tees and George Stuart Lanka because for giving us this wonderful hotel and for this wonderful location. So I thank all of you, and thank you to all the viewers for joining us once again. Thanks.